The family of a Marine killed during the U.S.'s withdrawal from Afghanistan is slapping Alec Baldwin with another lawsuit. The federal suit was filed by the family of Marine Lance Corporal Riley J. McCullum. He was one of 13 Marines killed by a suicide bomber outside the Kabul airport in Afghanistan last year. It's the second time they've accused the actor of being negligent and reckless in posting about McCullum's sister being at the January 6th protests. Baldwin is also still under investigation for his role in the shooting death of the cinematographer on his Rust movie set. But despite all of this, Broadway seems ready to roll out the red carpet for his acting comeback. The New York Post reports that Alec will start in a revival of the show Art, set to open in the spring. And Kayleigh, first I want to start with you just on this defamation suit and going after this fallen hero.
Yeah, I'm so happy this family is trying to hold Alec Baldwin accountable, who should have enough to worry about right now other than attacking a family of a fallen hero. Riley McCullum was the fallen hero. His daughter was born 18 days after he passed. Her name is Levi Riley Rose, born on September 13th, 2021. She never met her heroic father. This is how we should be speaking of this family of a fallen hero, acknowledging the loss, acknowledging that his daughter will never meet this young man, not attacking his aunt, putting your followers on her, which is exactly what Alec Baldwin did, and sending her private messages to the aunt of this beautiful little baby saying, when I sent you money, I didn't know this about you, and attacking her. Who does that? This is so sick, even for someone who has done a lot of wrong in his life, Alec Baldwin, and I hope they prevail in court. Yeah,
well, they are fighting back, and we'll definitely see what happens, but there's so much controversy surrounding Alec Baldwin right now, after the cinematographer's death, after what happened on the Rust set and the interviews that he gave about it. Lawyer would tell you, don't speak when an investigation is still pending. And now he wants to make a comeback on Broadway. Cassie, I'll kick this one over to you, because Broadway may welcome him back with open arms, but are the patrons going to?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. And I'm so glad, Kayleigh, that you brought up the name of his daughter, Riley McCullum's daughter. That's the important name that we should be thinking about. That's who we should be talking about. And yet here again, we're talking about Alec Baldwin. He always makes it about himself. And to your question about Broadway, I have to tell you, I'm a theater geek. I save all my pennies to go to a show if I get to come up here to New York. And it's expensive. And people across the country, it's a really special trip to be able to do it. And I don't know that they're going to welcome Alec Baldwin. The theater community might, the elites, the Hollywood elites might forgive him, but I don't think he's done enough in his own life to show us that this is a man worthy of that forgiveness or that redemption.
It's too early. It's too early for him to come back.
What's so interesting, too, is that he says he's lost 5 jobs as a result of the controversy after the shooting. And Morgan, I'm sitting here saying to myself, are you really playing the victim here?
Wait, is this the same guy whose wife faked being Spanish?
Yes.
Okay. So, like, I have words that I can't use on TV without getting kicked off set for this man, especially for what he did to the family. I think, listen, for the economics of a Broadway show, I have a lot of friends who invested in them. It's actually really hard to get your money back to recoup it. So I get the idea of them trying to put a big, bold name in to try to get people in. I hope it doesn't work. I hope he and his fake Spanish wife go away.
Brett, you were going to say?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's too early for him to come back. I mean, do we really think Baldwin has addressed the severity of this issue with the Rust shooting? I mean, there's a level of personal responsibility that comes with this. If he is, if you killed somebody, it's you should be remorseful. And all we've heard from him is that he wasn't the one that pulled the trigger. The gun just went off, which is just virtually impossible for that to even happen. We can't just whistle past this issue with what he's done in there. And I think, the other thing is, why is he not doing some gun safety platform? Why is he not out there trying to help people after this serious?
Because that would be personal responsibility, Brett.
So many people are saying, instead of sitting down and doing these interviews and saying, I didn't pull the trigger, even though this FBI report is saying that the gun couldn't have gone off if the trigger wasn't pulled, you should be saying, I'm sorry. And you should be repeating, I'm sorry, over and over again, and saying nothing else. I mean, that's what a reasonable... I'm sure his lawyers are telling him that.
I think his plan is to create a little bit of smoke and mirrors in this to try and get him back to work. But at the same time, and we can't forget that lives were lost during this situation. And gun safety is paramount. And he needs to be remorseful for it.
And how hurtful to that woman's family that they just have to hear him over and over, him getting to live on his life and their daughter can't.
Exactly.
He also has this sort of self-mandate to be a political activist, right?
Yeah.
He feels like he should, when so many people would say, you know what, why don't you just stick to what you're good at? Skate in your lane.
Exactly. And this family has said he donated $5,000 to Riley McCullum's family and then sends these personal messages. And I just want to ask, think to yourself, Democrat, Republican, whoever you are, just a human who has any ounce of decency what would compel you to message, private message, and then essentially put out your followers, a tweet to your followers about this family? What would compel you to do that to the family of a fallen soldier in Afghanistan?
Yeah.
That speaks to a level of arrogance, of just total selfishness that I don't think a rational human being can think about.
Yeah, I don't know when
respect.
he cries.
No
He
respect for
can't
the veterans.
even
No
touch inside into his paternal instinct there.
Yes.
Like, you're a father of so many children. Don't you
Totally.
have a heart? These are all great questions. We'll continue to talk about this as it unfolds.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.